As I look back on my own experience growing up, and I only had one sister, but my sister was a straight A student. You know, she was like, if you look at her O-level results slip, under grades it was all A's, 9 A's. And I am not so academic. I always subconsciously aimed to be like my sister. I always felt like I was not as good. For me, myself, as a mom right now, raising 7 children, we have taken a very different course in terms of education because now we are homeschooling. And as homeschoolers, I really don't care so much about the academic subjects, and not that I don't care lah. I mean, it is important, but their talents are also just as important. You know, even like Asher taking nice photographs, that is important. Somebody folding a nice piece of origami, that is very important. To me, cooking a nice meal, is at the same level as doing well at spelling or TCA or something like that. Yeah. So in that sense, I think we can't squeeze our children into these
expectations.
Yeah, expectations that are even like narrower as in English, math, science, and Chinese second language. They're so narrow, but God has made our children so diverse and so talented in so many different ways, right?
There is nothing to rival each other for. I think the thing that we have in our home is that we individually exhort and we get each child to have a very, very strong talent or gift. I mean, we nurture talent within this home, and each of us are so very, very, very different in whatever we have. So for example, I do photography, I do like design and things like that. But my brother, he does music. My other brother, he does a lot of, he cooks and he sews and stuff like that. And so there is nothing to rival anyway. If Papa and Mama praise Isaac for his music playing, I'm not going to be jealous or anything. If Mama says Isaiah's cooking is very good, I can't get jealous or anything because that's not what I do, I think my point is this, that as I guess I'm very, very thankful and to my parents for helping us to discover our own individual gifts and nurturing them.
So some of the ways that we kind of manage it is, okay, I mean, for one, I personally as the father, we need to kind of step up also lah, so in the evenings when I come back from work and then Ferdy needs to go and pump or just carry the baby because Enzo is crying, then I will try to take that time to read to the boys. So usually Ferdy is the one that does the reading of every book, and the kids are very fixed in the way that they only want mommy to read the books to them, and they only want mommy to read the Bible to them, and so when I had to step out and I had to think of creative ways to take over that role. So be it reading the Bible in other ways, or making it interesting by asking them lots of questions, or even using a different accent, So just being creative. So now, thankfully, so I'm the one who they will come to.
For us, it has been very intentional. So generally, we're very blessed of what we can give our children. So we keep emphasizing that we don't give because these are your leftovers. So we teach them that when you share, it is because you want to bless. So it really shouldn't come from a point that I have no choice that I have to share, but because I want to, that's what we share. So a simple example, we could quite easily have own rooms for the children, but we were very intentional not to on different grounds. We know that they are very different, and so for example, we know that our number one, she's introverted and she needs her space. But we thought all the more then, if we don't teach her what it means to engage and be out of comfort zone, then it'll be even more difficult when she interact with others. So for us then, that sharing becomes, okay, you share so that there's a different dimension of what does it mean to think beyond yourself. And then the joy of every time they do so, I say, hey, how do you feel? And this is very much like what the Bible will teach you, to always think of others, to always consider the needs of others as well. So, and we celebrate every time they actually went out of the way to do that part of sharing.
We always demystify the idea of fairness. When they cry, it's not fair. We always define that it doesn't work out that way, because each one of you have your own interests. So when we buy, it doesn't mean that we have to buy 4 of the same, because you may not even like that, and we respect that. So in that sense, there is natural unfairness if they see it that way. And as I learned, then if each of them have unique things, then you have no choice. If you want to enjoy another person's toy, even for a moment, you have to learn to share. And in that sense, you also ask for the other person to share, and you get to enjoy 2 toys, right, instead of 1.
I think the other thing that we do is actually to help them to recognize that they are each also entitled to a shared toy for a particular period of time. And that, it's okay, like it doesn't always have to be everyone must share together and play together all the time. Because sometimes like one person really wants to build something on his own, but then they have to respect each other's permission. So the magic word in our household is not please. Because they used to think that if I say please, then I'm entitled. So they get really angry when the other person is like, no. And then they will be like, I already said please. Then I said, no, please is not the magic word. Consent is the magic word. So when you ask for something, then you have to wait for the answer. And if your brothers are not done with the toy yet and they say no, then you wait. So we tell them that the waiting time would be like maybe 10 minutes, or something. And then we have to teach them to respect that space.